Hello, everyone. I'm Clinton Smith. I'm the CEO of Government and Civil Employee Services, also known as GCES, and I'm here with our financial advisor and our founder, Galen Bargerstock. Galen, how are you doing?
I'm doing great today, Clint. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. I have absolutely no complaints.
Good.
If I did, I don't think anyone would care anyways.
No, definitely not.
You know, everything's going great, and I know that the topic that we're going to talk about today are questions that are thrown at you all the time whenever you're sitting down with people and going over their retirement.
Yeah. People love to ask a lot of questions to get to know me.
What's the weirdest question you've ever been asked, if you were to think about it? And you don't have to answer now. I can give you a minute.
Yeah, give me a minute.
Okay, all right. I'll come back to that later. So, you know, guys, whenever we talk about retirement and things with everyone at Government and Civil Employee Services, or GCES, we always talk about things related to wealth, health, and happiness. And that's kind of where we go whenever we talk about retirement. Everything, all of those three topics, health, wealth, and happiness, are all things that people have questions about whenever they're planning and preparing for retirement. And we're kind of going to talk about today because retirement really can be a daunting task, especially for someone that's doing it for the first time in their life.
Yeah.
But we've done it for thousands of people.
Yeah, I mean, nobody's, worked their entire life and retired before, so it's a new experience. It's a life-changing event, and most people are, left in the dark about what to do.
Yeah. And now these are all questions that you should ask your financial advisor that we're going to go over today. If you don't have a financial advisor, we can do that for you. You can give us a call. It doesn't matter what your tax bracket is or where you are at in your career, whether you're just starting out or you're right there towards the finish line. We can help you out, understand everything that you get for being, for everything you can get from the things you've saved for retirement. All you have to do is give us a call, 888-391-3465. So let's start out with wealth-related questions. I'm pretty sure this is probably the number one thing that people think about whenever they are planning for retirement.
Yeah.
I'm assuming most of their questions normally go around the wealth-related questions.
Wealth or health, it's kind of equal, both of them, both big concerns.
Happiness usually seems to take the back seat to those two topics.
It is.
But it's equally just as important.
In life, I think that you have to be happy, or what's it all about? You know?
So the first question, which is also, we have an episode, we talked about this last week, if you were watching, about what it is to be a fiduciary. So that's the first question that's on the list that you should ask your financial advisor. Are you a fiduciary?
Yes, I am a fiduciary. So, fiduciary in the simplest meaning, and like you said, we had a whole show about it. I put your needs above my needs and make sure I do the right thing no matter what for you and your family.
Which is a good way to do what we do.
Correct.
There's a lot of people that don't like to do that in this business who aren't fiduciaries. So making sure that your advisor is a fiduciary is probably going to be one of the most important things you can ask them. That way you're sure that they are having your best interest in mind.
Yeah. You want to make sure that you're working with somebody that is at a level where they are regulated and you know that they have to do the correct things for you or they're going to get in trouble.
Yeah. And ultimately, we do sell products. We have things that are available to fix people's finances and products to put them into. And, that's one of the things that being a fiduciary, we don't feel like a used car salesman when we're out meeting with people. We're actually doing the right thing for them. We're not putting anything or putting anyone into anything just based off of the commissions that we would receive or the fees that we would receive from that product. So, it's a good thing to make sure that your financial advisor is a fiduciary, and that's why we started it out with the number one question.
Yeah.
The next one is kind of close, kind of similar. Yeah. What are your credentials?
So my credentials, I'll start from the kind of like bottom to the top. At the very beginning, I became an insurance agent, life, health, and annuity. So I'm licensed to talk about health insurance, life insurance, annuities, and at one point I was involved with Medicare. I don't currently write Medicare, but I have tested and done that Medicare policies for people.
I remember whenever we first started, we started out with the life, health, and annuities license. Yeah. And I remember the first time we went out and met with other people who also had the same licenses that were working with the same company that we were with.
Yeah.
Do you remember this person that I'm going to bring up?
I'm going to say her name is like a fruit.
Yep. Let's just call her Peaches. Peaches was at a conference that we were at, a training conference. And we were all sitting at breakfast, and whenever we're at these conferences, it's basically a shoe size measuring competition, typically amongst agents. And we're sitting down at breakfast, everyone's talking, and Peaches tells us how on a Sunday, she will just sit in her basement, in her office, in her basement, and she would just call everyone that she had that was a client that she hasn't sold a life insurance policy to, and she would call them and try to sell them all the same life insurance policy, and she would just sit down there on her basements on Sundays and make calls until she made $1,000.
Correct.
Whether or not it was the thing that was right for the client.
Yeah, no, I remember. I knew her name.
And that, I think that was honestly a turning point for us when we realized that was not what we wanted to be like.
Yeah, it was a very big eye-opener. I mean, the conferences, yeah, they were fun, but you did learn what other people did, and sometimes it was scary what other people were actually doing, and you didn't want to be involved. So you kind of knew who to stay away from and who to gravitate towards to work in this business.
Yeah, it was a good example for us of what we didn't want to be like in this business. We want to be able to sleep at night. We want to do the things that are right for people. People work their whole lives to get to retirement. We don't want to screw that up for someone.
Correct, yeah.
The next thing is, do you specialize in certain types of employees or retirement plans?
Definitely. So in 2009 is when I actually started working exclusively with federal employees, and I didn't work with anybody but federal employees until about 2021. Somewhere in that ballpark.
Well, I mean, you worked with federal
spouses.
employees, but you also worked with their spouses and everyone in the family.
Yeah. I mean, that's where I learned the plans. But, big emphasis on the federal employees, also state employees, and, local governments, anything kind of based in sort of governmental work. But about 2 years ago, I opened up to everybody because, like you said, I was working with the spouses of everybody, knowing the other pension plans, learning the hospitals, things like that, and then setting up plans for employers. So, over time, I work with everybody, but definitely federal and state employees, I can handle like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So have you thought of what the weirdest question was that you've ever been asked?
No, and I knew you were going to ask. I did think about it, and I couldn't think of anything, and I'm like, he's going to ask me. I guess if you like snacks, because somebody would ask me, do you like snacks? And I'm thinking, well, why would you ask me if I like snacks? Not thinking to myself that they were offering me a snack, but that's probably the weirdest.
Yeah.
I mean, no real stories.
We do have some great clients,
Yeah.
especially Northeast up in Vermont. So we have definitely gotten some amazing things of maple syrup from clients. We've gotten some homemade things, some canned things, canned salsas, canned relishes. We have some great clients, and Galen definitely does like snacks. So, if he's meeting with you and you want to feed him, he will definitely take a snack.
Yeah, I don't turn down any kind of snack or a refreshment, sitting at the appointment with somebody.
We are doing no carb right now, so try to keep it sugar-free. All right, everyone, we are going to take a quick break. We're going to be back in just a moment. We're going to continue to go over the things and questions that you should ask your financial advisor. We'll see you in just a minute. So what got me into the business was really a series of events that led up to us doing it together. Galen and I were together for 10 years probably before we started our company. Before that, I was in restaurant management and hospitality, and a lot of that is carried over into our business. But I got laid off from a restaurant, and he said, hey, do you want to start setting my appointments? And then we made a logo, and now here we are 12 years later. So one of the things we've learned and noticed in this industry is that a lot of agents and companies just try to go in and sell everyone the same life insurance product. And that's something we really had to battle against in the beginning. We worked primarily in the beginning with postal employees, and a lot of them were taken advantage of. All of them have the same product, life insurance product, whether or not it worked for them. And that's why I like what we do, because we're not just out there to sell a product, we're out there to make the right decisions for people and use products that are actually good for them. So it's not all about making a sale, it's more about finding the right piece to fit into the retirement puzzle. If you go to a big box company, you're gonna get a big box product. If you go to somebody independent, that independent person is able to search multiple companies to find the best thing that suits your needs for retirement. So I'm really excited about the way that the business is going now. We've been in it for quite a few years, and we're excited to get to bring on more people into the family. Welcome back, everyone. This is Our 2 Cents. I'm here with Galen Bargerstock, our financial advisor and founder of GCES, and we're talking about questions to ask your financial advisor.
Mm-hmm. These are all questions that I've heard in the past and hear on a daily basis usually.
Yeah, and I'm sure you've been asked a lot of these questions 1,000 times.
Yeah.
Some of them more than others, I'm sure. Mm-hmm. Did we finish talking about do you specialize in certain types of employees or retirement plans? Did you finish that thought?
I did do that one.
So guys, we did start out working with federal employees. If you're a federal employee, we understand the ins and outs of everything that you get. We can help you fill out all of your paperwork, all of your retirement paperwork. And we've specialized in federal employees since we started our company in 2010. And we recently opened up in the last year to work with everyone. So if you're a federal employee, we can definitely help you. And if you are not a federal employee, we can help you too. Just give a call to the number on the screen, 888-391-3465. So next question, Galen.
Yeah.
How much will I make monthly in retirement with the plans that you are suggesting?
So that's a good one. So if it's a plan that I'm suggesting, and if you want an income, that sounds pretty much like an annuity, some sort of guaranteed income stream coming in from an annuity. Primarily, I like to talk about fixed indexed annuities, fixed where you can't lose, index where you're playing an index. And if I'm talking about that, about guaranteeing an income stream, we're talking about how that works, where you might do a rollover and roll your 401k into an annuity so you can get an income stream to guarantee you a lifetime payment for, you could do it for yourself, you could do it jointly for both you and your spouse. So there's different options, but people want to know that they are going to have a guaranteed income stream so they don't outlive the money. You know, that's a big concern.
Yeah, especially for people that have a lower amount of income saved. I'm assuming that, that you know, if you have $50,000, you take out $1,000 a month, that's going to last you 50 months. Yeah. I mean, you can pay off a car quicker than that.
Yeah, I mean, you need to make sure that you're doing the correct steps. But, you know, when you're guaranteeing something, it's the guarantee from the insurer. The insurance company is guaranteeing that you're going to have an income stream. I'm not guaranteeing it. I'm just showing you the different companies that would give you the guaranteed income stream if I'm talking about that specific product.
Nice. The next one kind of goes in line with this, and I'm pretty sure this is probably one of the things a lot of people think about is, will I ever run out of money?
Yeah, and it does tie in with what we just talked about. I mean, we're trying to figure out, when I sit down, what your income sources are coming in for retirement. Do you have a pension? How much is that pension going to be monthly? What is your Social Security? What is your spouse's Social Security? And kind of figure out your bottom line and the loss of income that you need to pull from the investments to get a monthly income. So everybody is completely different, and will you outlive your money? That's a situation, you know, topic case by case, because some people have so much money in excess in their investments that no, they're not going to outlive their money, and I can explain to them why. And some people, you know, could possibly outlive their money, and they need to gravitate more towards that income stream to have that discipline so they're not.
Yeah. And I mean, this is mostly a question regarding investments.
Correct.
It's not like Social Security is going to cut you off at 85 as long as they keep Social Security around.
Correct.
And it's not like your pension's going to cut you off either because you're too old.
Correct. Yeah.
So, I mean, this is really talking about people's investments.
Investments and savings, also their savings accounts, things that they've done on the side for themselves. Rental properties, that's also a big one.
Nice. So have you, in the time, I'm assuming you've helped people with the guaranteed income stream to help make sure that they're never going to run out of an income stream?
Correct, yeah. So, you know, like I said, it's an annuity vessel where they're guaranteeing a monthly income, and then we'll have that conversation if that is appropriate to have in your situation. You know, it is appropriate to have in most conversations in building a retirement plan, because you need some guarantees built in so you know you're not going to outlive, like we said, your money.
So the next one, this one is kind of a long answered question, so I want to make sure we spend a little bit of time on this. What exactly will you be able to do for me?
Yeah, so, you know, like I just went over, you know, my primary goal is to make sure you understand everything that you have and how it intertwines. So I'm going to find your income streams, your different income sources. We're going to address if you need to have disability policies, if that's on the table, or cancer insurance, if cancer runs in the family and that scares you. You know, investments. Maybe you want to invest with, for your grandchildren or your children, into UTMAs and things like that with investment streams. So there's really no one specific thing that we can talk about. I can talk about any insurance line with you, and I can also talk about the investments and what that could possibly mean to you for the future.
I guess a better question here would be, what can't you do for me? You know, that's probably an easier way to ask this question. easy things that we don't do for our clients that we can't do legally. We are not able to give tax advice, so we definitely recommend everyone has an accountant in their back pocket that they can ask any questions to. We also have accountants that we can refer you to that will be able to help you out as well, that are able to answer the questions, tax questions. Will there be any tax consequences from this purchase? Those are all things that we want all our clients to be understand whenever they're going through the process with us.
Correct.
We're also not attorneys, so we can't really help you out with a will or setting up an estate. We do have places to refer you to, though, that work with us closely in doing that for our clients. And the last thing, the insurance. So we don't do home, we don't do auto.
Yeah.
So we can help you understand if you're paying too much for your home or auto policy just because we see, what other people pay in other households in similar places. So we are able to, also give you a referral to a different home and auto place should you be paying too much. And those prices have really gone up a lot in the last years.
Ours have went up, I know. So other people we've talked to, their insurances lines have went up as well when we're talking about the auto and the home. It's just something that I never really wanted to get involved with the protection of the objects. I'm more protecting the person, not insuring the car or the home. But it is important to, shop around, find the cheapest you can. It's not like life insurance, because if you're doing life insurance, you're really buying that plan to lock into a term, if you're doing term for 10, 20, 30 years, or permanent for your entire life. Where auto insurance, you can shop around, say your rates increase, you can shop around, go to a different agency, save a little bit of money every single year.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And for high net worth clients, one of the things that I do want to bring up is life insurance, that a lot of people don't understand or don't know that life insurance passes on to your beneficiaries tax-free. So buying a life insurance policy to pass on a legacy to your children is a much better way to pass on a legacy rather than them inheriting any of the money that's left in your 401k or investments, because all that is going to be taxed when it moves over into an inherited IRA.
Correct. Yeah, for the most part, that's correct. You can also do investment grade life insurance where you're playing in the sub account and also creating wealth inside of it and pulling out income streams from that tax-free in the future. So there's lots that can be done with the life insurance policies. There is a big conversation, and I would say if you do have a financial advisor and the financial advisor recommends you go to somebody else for the insurance lines, they don't handle health or life insurance, I would say it's important to find somebody that does, because life insurance is a conversation that I have with everybody, because no matter what, everybody's going to pass away. It's just the unfortunate thing of life. So it needs to be well focused on inside of a retirement plan.
Until they invent cryo freezing.
Right? Yeah.
That could be a thing.
Maybe.
Yeah. So guys, at GCES, we understand all the ins and outs of your retirement. You can call us if you need a financial advisor. You can call us if you want a second opinion, but we are there to help you. If you're watching this show, we work in your area. We can do an online appointment. We can do Zoom. We can do in person. You can also come to our office in Indiana, Pennsylvania and sit down with us. Indiana is a wonderful town. It's the Christmas tree capital of the world. We're going to be back in just a few moments. We're going to continue to go over questions you can ask your financial advisor. See you in a minute.
I think the best thing to start at with retirement is just knowing that you don't have to have a certain dollar amount for retirement. It's just knowing that you want to retire and you need to start thinking about the different aspects of it.
Even if you're in your 30s and you just got married, it's time to start meeting with someone and get a plan in place. It's not always easy to do it whenever you're right there at retirement. So if you're years out, it's time to get a plan in place.
I think a successful retirement is a happy retirement. It doesn't matter to me how much money you're going to make into retirement. You know your bills better than I do. So I think just being happy and comfortable with what you have is the appropriate amount that you need for retirement. It's very important to have a financial plan into retirement, because if you don't have a plan, you're going to kind of be lost with what to do. And plans change, but at least if you establish a plan, you have a little bit more consistency of what's going to go on.
Welcome back, everyone. I'm Clinton Smith. I'm the CEO of GCES. Today, we're talking about questions to ask your financial advisor with our financial advisor at GCES, Galen Bargerstock. Galen, how are you?
I'm still doing good, Clint.
Still good.
Still good.
Good.
Yeah.
So I know that this is a lot of stuff for us to go over, but the next question, I want to get right into it. How do you measure success for your clients? That's another question that you get asked a lot.
I do. And success for my clients is what they expect to happen. If that happens, well, that's successful, because every single person is going to have different goals set, whether it be they want to make a lot of interest on their investments or they just want to make a little bit. They're okay with small returns and steady as she grows, as they say. But your success is my success. So I'm just happy if we accomplish everything that you're asking me to help you with.
Yeah. And one of the things that I would like to say that we also do regular check-ins with our clients. We check in with our clients once a year, making sure that they're still on track before they retire, after they retire. If they retire before their Medicare age, we handle that for them. We handle RMDs whenever they become 72. But it's really important that we have regular check-ins with our clients just to make sure that they're still on track, to make sure their goals haven't changed, and that they haven't had any big life changes that require us to do stuff on our end, like changing beneficiaries because they got a divorce or something to that effect.
Correct. I mean, over the years, we have built our software system to such an elaborate design that when I'm in an appointment, I'm notating what needs done at what age, and we contact them that date, and then we'll follow up with them and keep them on pace. So, technology is amazing at organizing everything that we need to do for people as well.
Yeah. So this is our last question related to wealth. I have inherited money or life insurance payouts. How does that work with my retirement? Can you break down the difference between inherited IRAs and life insurance payouts and how those work separately?
Yeah, so an inherited IRA, and unfortunately, when you reach that age of retirement, your parents are also at a higher age as well, and you might be inheriting something. So life insurance, of course, is going to come to you tax-free. So if you're doing something with the life insurance, there's no taxation on that. You're free to do with what you want, when you want. An inherited IRA is different. Spouse to spouse, no problem. Just name changes over the policy and everything's fine. But when it trickles down from somewhere else, it can't be mingled with your IRA. So if you inherit a traditional IRA, it cannot be mixed with your own IRA. It has to be in a separate spot. And in a 10-year period, you're going to have to pull out 100% to pay the taxes on that. So, normal circumstances, 10% a year just to keep on track. But an inherited IRA does have to be handled different. And an inherited IRA or life insurance is something that is not usually anticipated inside a retirement plan. That's just something that comes in a little bit extra due to an unfortunate situation.
Yeah. Which that does happen. We've talked about it before in our show. Unfortunate series of events do happen that force people into retirement, and sometimes people just aren't prepared, and it's no fault of their own. They knew if everyone had a crystal ball and could tell, retirement would be easy. We'd all win the lottery, and everything would be hunky-dory. Yeah.
I mean, the inherited IRAs, they are what they are, but that can also provide you with income streams once it happens.
So let's talk about some health-related questions. I know we only have a few more minutes left, so I want to go over the very important one that I know kind of irks you or bothers you is, should I keep this disability policy that I've been paying for years?
Yeah, so disability is like my arch nemesis, but I know it is important because everything has its place. I would say that if you have a lot of sick leave build up, question if you need the policy, just flat out. Question if you need it because you have so much time saved. And that would be a short-term disability. Long-term is different because that's going to be paying you for a long-term if you're disabled, but not a lot of people purchase those. It's more the short-term policies. And even then, you have to wait 15 or 30 days elimination period before you can even collect a check due to injury. And a lot of times with the way medical is right now, you're not even staying in the hospital. You're in and you're out and you're back on your feet. So to me, it's better to invest in yourself and your investments than to a what if you get disabled.
Yeah. The reason we've always been so busy since the beginning of starting GCES is because federal employees don't understand anything about their benefits, and the government does a very poor job at explaining to federal employees, whether you're a postal employee, VA, anywhere, they do a horrible job of explaining to you your benefits. When we sit down with postal employees, a lot of them don't even understand how much sick leave they have. They don't understand understand what the numbers on their paycheck mean. And these are all things that we can go over with our clients that are federal employees to help them understand these things. And that's where came to play, because Galen would sit down with people and they have 9 months, a year and a half of sick leave and annual leave that they could use if they had to go off of work, instead of going on a disability policy that they're paying for years, taking money out of their pocket, money out of their retirement, and putting it into a disability policy that might never even pay them out, because pre-existing conditions go back to like birth.
Yeah, I mean, it's a tough one. Like I said, like you said, it's one of my biggest pet peeves, because I understand how it works, and I don't think people understand how it works when they buy it, or they wouldn't. The other one is cancer policies. I'm not saying the cancer policies are bad by any means. You could get cancer. Nobody knows if they're going to get cancer. But the way that I like them is if they have a return of premium. Usually that'll be like a term. So you're
What's for everyone that doesn't know, what does return of premium mean?
Return premium just simply means, if you're paying, you just say $50 a month to have a cancer policy to give you a benefit, a dollar amount, or, help with treatment, something like that, they're going to give you all of your money back if you were with them for 20 years, and then you'll have the option to renew. If you want, but you'll still get the money back, but you can renew for another 20 years. So I like the return of premiums ones, so you can get your money back in case you don't get cancer. And let's hope you don't.
Yeah. Ultimate best case scenario would be that you don't get cancer.
Best case scenario is that doesn't happen, yeah.
So I want to go to some happiness related questions while we wrap it up in the next minute here. Can I afford to move somewhere warmer? Or how can I plan my retirement to include plans for increased travel expenses?
So you just have to be realistic with how much you need monthly when it comes down to it. So the sooner you start and establish a retirement plan, the more you're going to hopefully have in retirement funds, and say your 401ks or any type of savings, that can help you travel more in the future. You're going to have your pensions, your Social Securities, those are going to be your standard incomes, but the higher that you can get your investments, the more likely you are to have those vacations more, and keep pace with inflation as well.
Yeah. We have had lots of clients that in their retirement, they decide that they're going to move to somewhere warmer. And that's one of the, I think for us, exciting things to see, that people are able to retire and live the life that they want to live.
Yeah, it is important.
And it doesn't happen all the time, guys. It's really easy for you to prepare for your retirement. Call the number on the screen, 888-391-3465. We can literally answer any of the questions that you have about retirement. Galen here will meet you on Zoom. He will meet you in your home, or you can come to our office in Indiana, Pennsylvania, and get all of your questions answered in about an hour and a half to 2 hours, depending on how many questions you have. We make it that easy. So please do yourself a favor, give us a call, reach out to us. You can also visit us online at gces.us to find out more information about our company and all of the things that we've done in our time. It's been great talking to you guys today. Have a great week. We'll see you soon.